What's up, Juventini? Welcome back to the AJ Sear channel dedicated to Juventus. And oh my God, did they ever piss us off yesterday? My word. Thrashing at the hands of City. Lack of competitiveness. Tudor all over the map. Saying a few things that really pissed me off. And we're going to have some fun covering it no matter what. It pissed off or not, we're going to have some fun. We got Luca. We got Mas. Fellas, are you ready for this one? Mas, you ready for this one?
Well, that escalated quickly. To quote a good man, Ron Burgundy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen. Can we all just step back, take a breath? Let's all calm down a little bit. It's gonna be okay. We'll figure it out. Everybody's losing their minds out there. Sun came up this morning. It's a new day. Let's talk about it. Let's talk it out.
We're going to talk it out, but I don't know. I'm not going crazy, but some people said I should be going crazy because when I did my post-match little YouTube short, I said I'm not going to get too crazy on it. But here's what bothered me, and some people said you need to get crazy. This is the time to get crazy. We need to stop wasting time. I kind of get it, but we'll talk about it. Luca, how you doing today?
I mean, it's Friday. Couldn't be more excited for the weekend, and Juventus had to ruin it for me. So,
hey, don't
feel like we're back. We're back a couple months ago, man. Just it's
Well, here's the thing. You know, the starting lineup. I said this about that game. I said it's almost like
it was trash.
taking the whole measuring stick aspect out of this away. So do we need to take as much out of this as we need to, considering the fact that we had a roster with some guys that are out of like Nico's getting shopped. You had Kostic that has been shopped. I don't know how many years running. You got Vlahovic that's getting shopped. All these guys that are out. You've got McKennie who's been terrible since coming back into the midfield out there too, which had no business based on how he's been playing in the previous games as well. I don't know. Do we take as much out of this as we should? I don't know.
I mean, there's certain parts we can take, like that back line. Those are not guys being shopped around, and they're available. So we need to look at that and be like, hey, because there's a good chance maybe those are the three that come up in one game this year versus, I don't know, Genoa, Cagliari, something like that. So
I don't think so. I don't think so.
It's a possibility. We don't know. I mean, shit, I never thought these three would ever be lining up together for Juventus, and here we are.
And I'll be quite honest. I mean, there's some issues there that crept up that I think need to be focused a little bit elsewhere. Maybe the midfield and probably even Tudor before I go too intense on that back line. And I'll get into it. I'll explain why. But look at the chat. You guys are on fire. You're wasting no time. We absolutely love you guys. Look at everybody in here. Fede Chiesa, Eagle T, 2000, Forza Juve, Chevy Silverado, like a rock. Fucking love that. Love that.
Great,
good old Bob Seger. All right. That'll cheer me up today. Like a rock. You guys are great. Drop a like while you're in here. Storm the barn. We're going to do things a little bit differently today because I think everybody's got so much they want to bring up and they want to talk about. We'll take Storm the Barns just after the quick recap on the game. Trust me, it's going to be quick. I don't want all of you to go through this thing, in extended format again. So after that, we will rock with it. Now, there are news headlines we are going to get to. When it comes to Savona in this game, a bad ankle sprain. He's not expected to play against Real Madrid. We will tackle that one. You've got Tudor, his presser that we're going to get to. You've got the latest on Weah and even Imbangula. You've got Vlahovic, major headline out there. That's going to obviously draw some attention. And then you've got Jonathan David with the green light and Juve currently working with an intermediary to wrap that one up. So we'll talk about all this in the aftermath here. We're going to start with Weah and Bangula, though, because they were left off the bench even yesterday. So taken out. All I'm going to say is this. You've got this guy, and it's Imbangula, or excuse me, Weah, his agent, coming out and putting out a statement. And he just said, Weah is a fantastic teammate and player. Seeing people behave like this for money has disappointed me. It's a disgrace. No one can treat my players this way. Sending him left and right like a puppet. I am happy Tim has the right mentality and remains focused. Pump the brakes. Badu Sambego. However the hell you say your name. Tim's agent.
That's his name?
I thought you were talking in tongues for a second. What the heck was that?
Name. That's a fake name.
I probably butchered it, and I don't care because this guy's a joke. It's a disgrace. What exactly is a disgrace in the world of football that the team that employs your player might want to transfer them out? That's disgraceful. What exactly are we doing here? It's an absolute joke. Weah didn't want to go? Okay. He turned it down because the players ultimately have the power. But you know what? It is what it is. And what on earth is with players feeling that they have to put these cryptic or religious posts out there every time something hits the news? It's starting to tell me a little bit about the guys that we have. Like, sack the fuck up. Seriously. Timothy Weah posts this thing just because he gets left off the bench here. It's, God, when life feels heavy and hope runs thin, remind me I am not alone. I may be tested, but I won't be broken. You gave me strength that storms can't steal. Blah, 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 blah. Shut up. Who cares? It's part of the gig you signed up for. I don't want to hear like being a footballer is so damn tough. What the fuck, boys? Enough.
Yeah, he needs a bit of thicker skin, to be honest. Like you said,
absolutely.
It's part of the job, right? And he's not at the level where he should be expecting to be on a bench or on the field. Like, it's not like he's a top level player. He's a good depth piece, but I don't know. You hit it bang on. It's annoying. It's part of the game, man.
They're soft as fuck, man.
Sure.
Samuel Mbangula, Romans 8:18. The pain that you've been feeling can't compare to the joy that is coming. Guys, you play for a football team. The football team is thinking about transferring you out.
Well, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, right? If I'm Weah and I'm like, okay, maybe I don't fit into the project here, Nottingham Forest seems to want me, and I might actually get some playing time. Would you not be like, okay, maybe that's not a bad option? Like, how married is he to Juve? I don't understand.
I mean, it's Nottingham Forest. I'm not saying it's the best, but clearly there's something he doesn't like there. Maybe it's the weather, maybe it's the food.
I don't understand this take to social media with stupid shit like this to have your agent sound off to say that the behavior is... What behavior is disgraceful? Considering transfers for your player? That's part of the deal. It's like, I don't even know who's softer at this point, his agent or Weah. Get some thicker skin is absolutely right from Mas here. But it looks like the move is shut down anyways. And doesn't look like Mbangula has any interest of going there. So it is what it is in the end. Now, they were left off the bench completely. We get to the starting lineup. We talked about the starting lineup. There was also a change in there from what was expected from Albanese. And it ended up being McKennie that found himself in the midfield. So you had Kalulu, Savona, Kelly, obviously Di Gregorio in goal. It was expected to be Locatelli, Thuram. It was Locatelli and McKennie. Alberto on the right, Kostic on the left. You had Nico Gonzalez and you had Colt Miners and you had Vlahovic. The fact that you also took Thuram out of there was even just added to it for this lineup. against City, but I think when it started to play out, some adjustments need to be made immediately, and it had to be in the midfield and flooding it. But these guys came out, and I think, honestly, these changes, we talked about it. It's like, and you hear media now talking about it today, but you can't lose that level of compete. And we had concerns. When you're putting, a game like this, and it's like, well, so many said nothing matters because you've already qualified. This is a nothing game. Bullshit. Because what has this done now to our mentality? You're gaining some momentum. You had 2 strong games. I don't care about who the opponent was, but you want to build off that. That many changes. Taking away a group that was building some good chemistry and breaking them completely up, not even having one of those players on the pitch, was crazy. And everything that happened followed suit, and it started from there for me. The one thing for me, you can lose a game, but you have to have competitiveness. We had no level of compete, and that's the problem I had. But I think it all started from that lineup. And I don't agree with how Tudor even in the end, a bunch of these guys had to come in anyways. If you played a half and showed some good compete, you could have held your head high about it and moved on to the knockout phase, even if you subbed them in at half. You know what I mean? It's about, hey, these are our guys and they can roll. We look good. We can at least do some damage to these guys. There was nothing there from the lineup, and there was nothing there tactically from Tudor. Our defensive line pretty much sat almost at our PK spot for the entire match, and that's a problem, boys. But, I don't know. We kind of talked about it yesterday with the lineups. Was Tudor right? Was it calculated and saved those guys for the knockout? Or do you think this is now more detrimental, what happened for us moving forward? Mas?
No, I mean, we talked about it yesterday. We knew going in it was a very passive lineup, right? You effectively killed off any momentum you had from those first 2 games. I get that it's, hot in the States. I get that you want to conserve some energy, but taking out 5 players out of your lineup, whatever it was, 5, 6, that were performing pretty well up until now, it was a recipe for disaster, and we saw what happened. At the end of the day, Man City is a very, very, very strong team, but Berto, like you said, there's ways to lose, right? You can lay over, or you can roll over and, show your belly, or you can, sack up and put in an effort. And you could tell with that team, once the first couple of goals went in, they were that's it. They rolled over. They were drained, right? So I don't know. It speaks volumes going into the next game.
Yeah.
Their mentality is not going to be where it needs to be, unfortunately. And Tudor's got a lot to blame for that. Like you said, his post-game comments weren't what they needed to be. And my fear with Tudor all along, I've said it, is tactically, I don't know if he's at the level where he needed to be. He came out at half. He didn't make any changes.
There was just substitutes, just some changes, right, substitutes, but nothing tactically at all.
Nothing tactical either. So, I don't know. There's some stuff that we can take away from this game for sure in the negative.
Yeah. So, Luca, did the game, because a lot were saying this game doesn't matter. They're like, it doesn't matter. You've already qualified. So, did it matter, or did what happened doesn't matter at all for you personally?
I mean, if you look at it let's say pre-game, you're looking at it from yesterday's perspective. We could have said, there's not much to this game. Let's kind of, test things out. But we discussed this yesterday. We had that chance, with the 2 games before where we kind of slapped around the other team. Could have, played the freaking U20s at that point, try something different then. So there's an argument on each side. Maybe Tudor knew that, City was going to be a tough opponent no matter what. Let me rest my key guys. So then the next game we could really, get into it and let me try some things. There is an argument to be made there. I think people thinking that way, possibly have, some sort of truth to it. That being said, it's as you guys just said, to go out and just get yourself absolutely slapped around. Looking at it from today's perspective, that's not acceptable because we definitely do have something to lose, and it's the mental aspect, right? This team is as fragile as like as it gets. I can't even get a good comparison as a joke there. It's just
Like,
yeah, no, losing like we had something to lose, and that was the mental aspect of now losing our form, our momentum, and now realizing that these guys hear their coach saying we're not as good.
if all of us want Juve to return to the Juve that we love, every game matters.
Exactly.
So when I hear fans saying, "No, this game doesn't matter," whatever, the only ones that legit don't matter are legit friendlies. This is a competition. Yeah. This game matters. And here's the thing. Even if you went out with your regulars, okay, and I know that there was some concerns about cards, etc., and you're going into knockouts, you don't want to lose guys. Guess what? You stand to lose too much in the mentality factor. What did we gain from playing these other guys there? A little bit of rest that you still could have given to the guys if you wanted to go with some regulars, cut them out at halftime. Like I said, when you make that shift at half, it's okay because you've gone out the first half. You went full steam ahead with the guys that you had. You could see where you stand. You could use it as a measuring stick. You didn't need to pull out the result, but you definitely needed to not get whitewashed like this because you could have always lost this game even if you went with your regulars. And this is the thing. You could have always been facing Madrid no matter what next round. And now you are, and you've approached it in a chicken shit manner. And not only that, I'll get to Tudor's words because that infuriated me, but you've shot it down by your own doing yet again. There was nothing to experiment with. There was nothing to gain from these other guys playing. One or two changes, okay. But over and above that, Tudor, this team came out and gave complete respect to Man City. And that's what I don't like. Because we are not going to be the team that spends as much money as these guys. We're not going to be that team. Anyone that comes into Juve, think about when we talk about coaches. Go back to when we were talking about coaches you wanted to bring in. It was all the same. You get your high-profile guys. Oh, Zizou. Everybody wants Zizou. Let's bring in Zizou. But the counter was, is he the guy that can maximize what you get out of who you have? That was the big question. And it's right to ask that question because we are not going to spend that amount of money. We need to build a Goliath. That's the reason that Conte had so much damn allure, because he maximizes what he gets out of who he has.
I mean,
what? Go ahead.
It needs to be said that compared to our first coach last season, Tudor was able to maximize a lot of the guys who weren't being maximized. Like if anyone's getting the best out of Yildiz and let's say Thuram right now, like it is Tudor. We got to give him that. But yesterday, not playing them obviously doesn't help us. Like you're not getting the most of Dusan or Kostic or Coop. So there's arguments to that and against that for him.
But tactically, even Mota, one of the most stubborn I've ever seen, was able to realize when he faced Man City. And I know that they were in a slump when he played them in Champions League, whatever, but that's besides the point. He changed the way he played, and we played a completely different game. And even he was able to recognize that. Tudor went flat out the exact same, and he played guys out of project on top of it. I didn't like it. Now, I mean, we don't need to talk about the goal. Like, this was crazy. Doku in the 9th minute, Kalulu and Costa were a mess together on that side. Like Costa couldn't keep up with the runs on the outside. The opposite side couldn't either between Kostic and Kelly. Kelly's positioning was outrageous to say the least in the game. The only one across the back line that did even half of his job was Savona, and the two around him were just absolutely chaotic. The midfield didn't help one bit. We were all out of sorts in the midfield. McKennie, we may have broken him with all this utility shit and playing him everywhere, because now the main position that he played when he came to us, it looks like he doesn't even know how to play it. But he could barely move too. Own goal. So we tie it on a gift from Ederson to Cope Miners. He did well to carry forward and then finish. But Kalulu, my God. Like, okay, clean finish. But Jesus Christ, what?
It actually wasn't even clean because he skiffed it. Like, he completely fucked it up. So it wasn't like it was a nice pass.
He tapped it perfectly home. Like, he fucking settled it nice, fucking slotted. Like, it's a beautiful tap in that I'm sure Duchan on the other side wouldn't have buried. But, like, what the hell is going on here? Like, I watch shit like that and I'm like, what are we doing out here?
Yeah, it was definitely Kalulu's worst game in a Juve jersey. Yesterday.
I think it was his worst. I don't even have to watch his entire career to tell you that's the worst game he's probably ever played. I think he came out with a 2 rating, and I thought that was generous. 2.6 total rating. It was garbage. That was crazy. And then after that, I mean, yeah, it's just one-way traffic. And like I said, our line was so far back. We gave them so much respect. There was no pressure. There was no physicality. Like, we just let them do what they wanted. It was disgusting. Haaland ends up scoring his 300th senior career goal. You got Foden Savinho with a hell of a hit on that one. Di Gregorio with a couple big saves throughout this game. But my God, I felt bad for him too. And you know what? At that point, get him out of there. Like, it's just, this is ridiculous. But I don't know, you guys. Not happy with this at all. In terms of everything, Duchan pulls back a consolation goal. That's a great ball from Kenan Yildiz. Like I said, Kenan Yildiz had a little bit of spark, had a little bit of play to him. Like I said, I would have liked to see us approach this game a little bit different. Not so much respect, because if we give teams respect, we're not going to have a shot, because we're not going to be the team that spends the money that's going to have the quality to just go toe-to-toe. So you're going to have to make it up in other ways. Showing them that amount of respect ain't going to be the way to get those results. I hope Tudor learned his lesson, because shit, school was in session there yesterday. Now, as far as Tudor goes, this pissed me off. This pissed me off beyond means. And it's everything we've kind of talked about here. He comes out in his presser and says, a bad game and a bad feeling. It's never nice to concede 5 goals. We need to talk about their quality. Man City has quality and they have pressed very well. To do better, we have to be fully alert, fresh to prepare well, and play a different game. City spent 100 to 200 million euros and have much stronger players than us. I'm not looking for excuses, but there had to be many conditions to put together to do better. I got a major problem right there. And you're about to go and play Madrid, so you already laid it out on the line that you have succumbed, that they are better based on the amount of money they spent. Guess what? You have a job to do. Every coach that comes into this Juve has a job to do to maximize what they get. I don't want to hear that the other team is better than us. I want to hear how you're going to overcome it. What are your ideas? To say after you get absolutely blown up that many other things needed to happen. Like, well, no shit. No shit, many other things need to happen. We need to play a completely different game. That's on you. I hated these words. Mas, what do you think about Tudor coming out and saying that? Especially ahead of a game against Madrid now.
Well, you nailed it, right? You've basically taken the venom out of the snake going into the next game.
Yep.
because again, it comes back to mentality. You're telling your players, we're already going in, as underdogs because they've spent way more money than we did, right? Um, I don't know. We talked about it in the green room. It was kind of surprising to hear those comments from Tudor because he didn't strike me as a coach that would say that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
he was always very accountable during the season, for the team. So I don't know. I hope it's not a trend, to be honest. But like we said, there's some worrying signs out of this game on the field with the team and his comments. Right, it's a little bit worrying going into a new season, for sure.
It is concerning, I think so. Luca, what do you think about those words post-match from the mister?
I mean, if you look at those and find any sort of positive, like as a fan, as a true fan, if you hear that and you're like, oh yeah, this is good, this is acceptable, we need to have a conversation. We need to sit down and slap you a few times because it's unacceptable, and it's as Matt said, I did not expect that from him.
Yeah.
If that's what we signed on for another year, yeesh, not great. I got nothing else to say. It's not great.
I mean, yes, our back line, that's not our typical back line. That's not our 1A back line. Okay? I understand all this, but again, I do not understand a team going out there showing, like I said, you can lose the game. You can't have a Juventus side be gutless and have no level of compete. That's a problem. Does it raise concerns? Yeah, I've got concerns. Now, if we're talking about Tudor out, absolutely not.
No.
I mean, and I saw that yesterday. I saw that. Don't waste any more time. This guy ain't the guy, but no, we don't need to go to that extreme, I don't think, at this point. Okay,
No.
let's hope that he learned his lesson. I think it was absolutely just a bad decisions from the outset. And we say it all the time, stupid games win stupid prizes. Well, Tudor won a very stupid prize yesterday that I don't think is going to go over well, and I don't think it should go over well with everybody. But did we really learn anything or discover anything new? No, we have a major depth issue at this squad. A major depth issue.
Yeah.
The depth on this team right now is on guys that the club doesn't even want around. Your depth is Imbangula, who isn't accepting a transfer. It's Weah, who isn't taking a transfer. It's Vlahovic, who wants to stick around, by the way, and leave on a free.
Dumbass.
We'll get to that. It's Kostic, who you can't find a finalized deal for. Cut the fucking cord. I've said this a million times. Count your losses. Say goodbye to the Arthurs, to the Kostic. Elkin was ready to step in for 100 million euros. Take whatever the hell you need to. Say goodbye and bring in fresh talent. Bring in some life. Bring in some energy. Bring in some fucking compete. Because Kostic coming back here every fucking summer ain't going to raise the level of compete. These are symbols of problems that aren't going to go away until the office fucking realizes it. Milik isn't going to be a new signing this year. Kostic isn't going to be a new fucking player we could use. I laughed when people were saying, hey, we might be able to use Kostic this year. Are you high?
For what?
No.
The water bottles?
We can't, and we shouldn't. Part of picking up the level of compete is bringing in fresh, new energy and new life to the team. When you've gone through rough patches for a while and you keep the same guys around, guess what? Those guys become tired. And they ain't with it anymore. And they're not at the same... They need a fresh start just as much as we do. Get rid of these guys. You got to figure out the Dusan situation, though, because that is a problem. Him staying and leaving on a free, that is a major problem. But we may have no choice in the matter. That's a problem.
Listen, I've said it before. This is football in 2025. It depends what you want your team to be. If you look at all the best teams in the world who have ambitions of, league, Champions League, Club World Cup, they have a starting 11 and players on the bench that can come in and easily replace that starting 11 without a beat.
Yeah.
So what do we want to be? Do we want to be a team that could possibly win Serie A? Maybe make it to round of 16 in Champions League, maybe a Coppa Italia, maybe not. Then stick with what you got. But you need to build a team that's capable of enduring the rigors of a full season with all the games you're playing. And right now we're putting scraps out there, guys. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty shambolic, man. Like, I get that Bremer's out, but even with Bremer in there, like, your other two options aren't. I mean, Kalulu's not a true center back, right? This guy's a fullback.
There's
I don't
crazy
know.
decisions amidst all this too, like not taking Vega for the Club World Cup when it was already worked out by Juntoli. Why on earth would you not take advantage of that?
There's
How
something
come
there.
Rugani can't get a minute?
Because he sucks.
He doesn't.
Sorry, I had to.
You
Had to
deserve
throw
what
in there.
happened yesterday with fucking Lloyd Kelly if you think Rugani shouldn't play ahead of him.
I would start Rugani over Lloyd Kelly.
The fuck are we talking about here?
That's our level right now. Like, are we really?
Rugani's been reliable for 3 years before he left out on loan for no fucking reason. You got Lloyd Kelly out there and everybody bitching about it, but Rugani can't get a minute. What the fuck? Rugani's miles clear of Lloyd Kelly. He's miles clear of, honestly, Kalulu at that position as a center back.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy to me. Like, I don't understand. So this guy's out of the project. Well, what the fuck does that mean for Kostic? What does that mean for Vlahovic? These guys are getting minutes. Rugani can't get a single minute. You get absolutely torched. And Tudor's just like, it's like what happened yesterday wasn't a problem. And that's what bothers me. That's what bothers me.
And I will say, guys, like, this goes back to wanting to spend big money on a striker. I mean, if you do that, you're handcuffing yourself for the rest of the team.
So
you have a lot of holes to fill in terms of depth, right? We've said it. The team doesn't need a complete overhaul, even though I'm seeing some of that in the chat. But you need depth. You need depth. And Berto, you said we need experience. Being linked to all these young guys, like, doesn't cut it for me. So there's a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of work to do. That's essentially where we're at. There's a lot of work to do. But I hate the fact, and I've been constant on this one since we got the books right. Why are we still nickel and diming on these goodbyes? Say the goodbyes. Elkin was rah, 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 and I hear so much shit about Elkin all the time now, and he's fully committed. He's so excited by this Juve. He loves Yildiz, etc. You were willing to put the money down if we didn't qualify for Champions League. Guess what? Can you just help your office say the goodbyes that need to, instead of wasting time and resources and energy trying to find somebody to buy Milik, to buy Kostic, to buy guys that nobody fucking wants? Artur, just cut the cord and let your guy, whoever the hell it is, Juntoli, Cannoli now, let your guy sign some fucking players. What are we doing? Act like a big club. Act like a big club. That's what I want this team to do. And yesterday it was like this thing with Tudor, these hopes, these ambitions. It's like we went right back to square one, and like they still don't understand that there is a certain bare minimum that has to always be present. And I think Tudor set us up to miss the mark there yesterday. And I don't like that. I don't like that. Now, Storm the barn. Let's see. I'm going to ask this before we get to storm the barn because I saw a lot of this yesterday. Juve won't get anywhere with Igor Tudor and a back three. We must switch to the back four. Well, do you agree that we need to get out of this 3-4-2-1 or whatever he's playing and that is a major issue? I saw a lot of that yesterday.
I mean, I don't want to really like quote what a lot of the guys say in this podcast. Like a lot of us will all agree that sometimes it's not about the formation; it's about showing up. I don't want to just use that as an answer here because clearly sometimes we do show up and sometimes we don't. Yesterday was an example of us not showing up. I think formation-wise, I think he's got to adjust to what our situation is. Like if we're thin on center backs, don't play the back three. If you only have like 3 center backs healthy, don't play all 3 of them at the same time. Like I remember we had done it I don't remember which season it was. One coach did it. I'm just like, why would you handcuff yourself like that? Like,
yeah,
adjust. Like we were talking about Conte before and what he's done, what he did last season. They were missing players. He adjusted his formation and it worked surprisingly. And this is a guy who never went to like anything besides a 3-man back. So I think it's up to Tudor to just see what he has and just otherwise. I don't necessarily think one will be better than another, but it's more like if you have no center backs, no wingers, then work around it. If you have more mids, obviously overload your mid. I think he's just got to adjust. So I don't really foresee, let's say, a 4-4-2 doing better just because, that's what Tudor is better at. Like, I don't see
Mas, what do you think? Back 4? Back 3?
No, I think Gio nailed it in the comments there. Back 3 is fine, but not that back 3. I mean, it speaks to what Luca just said. It's personnel, too. I mean, the 3 in the back seemed to work fine towards the end of the season in the league. We got some good results there. It's just who you're putting out there, right? And again, it speaks to depth, and it speaks to, having your full 11 that's your best players on the field at the end of the day. So I have no issue with the back 3. It's just who we're putting out there is the problem.
Yeah, I've got no issues with back 3. And I've always said, you can't be rigid. Like, you have to be able to adapt. Some games you are going to have to go back 4.
Yeah.
And play something different. Like, you're not going to be able to just be one setup and that is it. I would have to agree that there was a combination of personnel yesterday that was completely mismatched. If we're talking about quality, you can't ignore that. But we did nothing from our own perspective to like try to make up for that difference in quality. How do you usually do that? Physicality. That was the biggest chicken shit game I've probably ever seen from Juve, period. In all my days of watching the team. Yeah. Because if you're trying to make up for a difference in talent, it's going to have to be pressure and physicality. Yeah. That is, you got to break the game up. You need to make it chippy. That's how you're going to do it. We showed no desire to do that. We moved back. We had a deep line, and we allowed them space to come and work it around in our final third. That is suicide. Suicide. Especially with just a lack of ideas. Like, are we going to flood the middle, force them to the outside, and then double team and keeping that? We weren't even double teaming on the outside. They had easy through balls, and nobody was following their man. Not Coop, not McKennie, Kostic and Costa repeatedly burnt on through balls. Kelly and Kalulu all over the fucking map. It was just awful. It was awful. It's one to forget, but sadly, I got some concerns, and Tudor really threw me for a loop there. But in terms of back 4, I don't think that really changes anything. Your tactics have to be on point when you're playing a team where you're surrendering a lot of quality. You got to be on point. We were far, far from it. Of the names we've recently been linked with for the back line, who would you take first? For me, it's Balerdi. I really want a left-footed center back. So Today, in the news, we had, I believe it was 4 names that were dropped as options. Actually, 5. So, Balerdi, Sinisi, Leone, Neafaguerd, and then Ronald Araujo. Those are the names that apparently are on the short list for Camole and Juventus. Everything around Balerdi, however, it's been said, I don't know how many times now, that Marseille isn't selling him.
Yeah.
If they are, I would like that option. I want us to get Leone. I want us to go out and get a kid that played Serie A top flight football last year, shut down good names, and I think the price tag is good, and I would do it. If all of a sudden something changes with the price tag, then yes, take our money elsewhere, and if Balerdi is available, go and sign Balerdi. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm done playing games with teams in Italy.
Whoa.
Screw
I got
it.
a question. I got a
Fire away.
because we spoke about this yesterday, and we had all discussed what we thought about Leone coming or staying with Parma for a season. After yesterday, does your response change? What do you guys think now?
For what, sorry?
Because yesterday, I believe you both said that you were okay with Leone staying at Parma for another season. If
I wasn't. Mas was.
Okay,
I think I was.
So, so it's for Mas now. Do you change your response?
Ugh.
Okay, it's
Hindsight.
tough, right?
Hindsight's always 20/20. I mean,
Right. Exactly.
Of that list, I would want Araujo to come in, based on if that fee is true at 30 million, just based on experience, based on the fact that he was playing at a big club. I know he's had some injury history, but I think him and Bremer together would be wild. But why can't we get Araujo and Leone, right?
Money.
I don't know.
Yeah, money.
I get it, but no, I mean, yeah, it was a shit show in the back yesterday. So at this point, yeah, I mean, the lineup we saw yesterday isn't the lineup we're going to see at the beginning of the season. Bremer's going to be in there. Cabal's going to be back. So we got to calm down a little bit. Like I said, I don't want to be making any rash decisions right now, just based on this result.
Need, if our plan is to keep Kolomuani and bring in Jonathan David, which I'm fine with, I think you're staring down the barrel of Juve needs 2 center backs, not 1.
Correct.
Yeah.
100%.
Juve needs 2. And they're going to have to make a decision. Either they keep Rugani around, but you're not going to find a move, I don't think, there. You might, actually. He's got a lot of interest in Italy, but you say your goodbye there. Facundo Gonzalez needs a loan in the top flight. Lloyd Kelly, I think you need to say goodbye, but I think you need to sign 2 center backs. You need to sign 2. I'd like to see Leone as one of them, and I'd like to see somebody that's a little more polished and has a little bit more experience come in as well. Because here's the thing. Bremer is going to need some time. It's like, it's great that he's back on the pitch. It's great that he's back training with the group and everything, and he was on the bench yesterday for the game.
It's gonna take some time.
But we can't seriously put this guy through all the minutes immediately and just be like, boom, Bremer's back. Like, that was fucking crazy when Chiellini did it at 37 or 38 years old, but that's not the norm. And these guys, like, we got to give this guy some time. I'm not expecting Bremer to just be like, there is a mental battle that is going to wage for Gleison Bremer when he gets back into it. It's going to take some time. Get yourself 2 center backs. Juve needs 2 center backs this mercato, not 1. And you got to say goodbye to some of these guys and keep it fresh. I hope they do it. I hope they do it, because I don't think 1 is going to be enough out of all the list that's there. That's so just me.
It goes back to the question, though. What is our biggest need? Is it striker or is it center back? For me, it was always center back. But some people were banging the drum on striker.
I've said for a long time, they're both equal priority for me. Because if Colo goes down, you have absolutely nothing.
Yeah, you're screwed.
Like Nico Gonzalez
You're not going to put Nico there.
He cannot play the top spot. He can't do it. I mean, he
You're better off.
can. It ain't good. Vlahovic is done. If Vlahovic wants to stay out his contract, that guy should be put on landscaping duty at Continasa for the entire... I'm not even shitting you, boys. It's what I would do. Go mow the fucking lawn. Go pull weeds. This is your gig for the entire season. Go. Fucking had it. Had it with these players. Had it with prima donnas. Had it with their bullshit and their nonsense. Like, seriously. Go pull weeds. Mow the lawn. And yeah, we don't have a self-propelling lawnmower. You could push that motherfucker. Go take that manual bitch out for a spin. Son of a bitch. Now, fucking... That pisses me right off.
It's mind-boggling that he thinks he's actually worth what he did. I can't. After yesterday's game, it's. How
agents are ruining football.
Yeah.
Agents are ruining football, and Dusan is just. I don't think he's all fucking there, obviously.
Clearly.
But Juve, with Weah, with Imbangula, these guys want to play games. You want to take to social media. You want to do this. I got a job for you, and you ain't going to fucking like it, you know? God damn it. Now, what the hell is going on with Luis? He looked great against Al Ain, and according to reports, is back in the same form as before his injury problems. Why don't we even try to give him a chance? Thoughts there, boys?
Did he look great against Al Ain?
Yeah, he looked pretty good. Had he hit a post. He almost scored on 2 other shots. Like, he looked good. He was good on the ball. He's always been good on the ball.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
I don't know. I got an issue giving minutes to a guy in a major tournament who's barely played all season. That's just me, but
I think that this comes down to our coach. I mean, I'm not going to stand here and say that Luis is not talented, and if he's apparently in form, as everyone says he is, then he's in form. I trust it. But I think it's just Tudor saying, I don't need you right now. And let's not forget, he wasn't bought for Tudor. So.
My thing is, I've always been of the belief, I don't think even Luis wants to be here.
Yeah, I think it's that too.
But the flip side, McKennie had no fucking business in that lineup yesterday.
That is a perfectly good point.
He had absolutely zero fucking business being in there yesterday.
And we needed someone who could hold the ball yesterday.
You needed ball retention. You needed it up top. You needed another guy in the middle.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a couple of things there. But with Luis, I honestly firmly believe and have for a long time, and I've always said it here, I don't think he wants to be around.
And I think Tudor sees that too. I think it's a mix of both.
Did you prefer the first half formation or the second half formation? I prefer the first half team, even though they played terrible. There wasn't that much that changed, man. Like, we had really 5 still across the very back. We were playing very, very deep. I think the only thing that changed was you had a couple of different sets of legs out there, and then eventually you got some guys that could actually do something that might have been a little bit more useful at the start of the game. That's really all I feel.
Yeah.
You guys agree?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, tactically it didn't change much.
At all.
How can anyone still use excuses for flop minors? Do we give him another 30 chances before we realize he cannot be relied on? I gotta say, I'm not playing him in that position. In a 3-4-2-1, like, I'm not doing it. I think it's ridiculous. But even defensively, my God, the guy was just piss poor. The odd couple times, and he shouldn't have been in a position to, like, be covering to that degree. That was on Kelly and Kostic. But the guy was so goddamn slow and not aware at all. It was just terrible. Just terrible. This guy is at times going through the motions. So I don't know, but I just play him in a regular midfield. I don't look to play this guy super high and advanced. He had this freedom role with Atalanta, and we have not come anywhere close to mimicking it, either in Malta's setup or now the 3-4-2-1. Like, if this guy plays, it's got to be as one of those midfielders, and he's behind the 8 ball. That's just the way it is. You're not going to find a move for him, though. That's
the thing. Like, people can complain all they want. We need to realize that he ain't moving.
We have to get him going to a spot that's acceptable in terms of a performance, but force feeding him in a spot where he just ain't cutting it doesn't make sense to me.
I would rotate him with either Luca or Thuram, and then if we're even using Luis, push him forward in that role. Like, if that's what we have in mids, that's what I would do, or maybe at least try. And McKennie should not be in the mid anymore. Play him out wide. I feel like maybe he always gives us something more, I find, when he's on a wing for some reason. Something
this
great.
This guy comes out, Colt Miners comes out and talks about being injured again. Still carrying injury with that Achilles problem. And it's just like, then what the fuck are you doing out there? Like, what are we doing? I don't even understand this anymore. And I mean, would you be surprised if he's still hurt? I wouldn't be. It's J Medical.
Yeah. Like,
this guy might be on the shelf for another 5 years. Competing in Champions League in 25-26 and the Serie A, can we have a team consisting of only 7 good players? We need a bench that is good as the first team. Guess what? Be patient.
Yeah. Like, I also want to date Salma Hayek, but it ain't happening anytime soon, buddy. So
Juve has to sort out their starting 11 first before we start tackling how strong the depth is, right?
Yeah.
That's the reality of where we're at right now. We got holes to fill in the main starting 11. You got to shore that up. Rumors that Jonathan David, hey, we're working on it with intermediaries. I would welcome that move and get him in ASAP.
It's funny though, the striker market in general, the last few days has been very quiet aside from David. Like, you haven't heard much on Gyökeres, you haven't heard much on Seško.
It's the conversations are not being had with Juventus. I'll tell you that, because I've been hearing them, and it's not related to us. It's whatever team.
Yeah, Gyökeres.
It's looking like
it's been about a week since we heard, like, it is Arsenal. Like, that's where he wants to be. He's not happy with Sporting and the way they're playing things out, trying to maximize, get as close to that 100 mil. As far as Seško, even Osimhen, though, it's been very quiet around Osimhen, but I don't want to give those fucks that money.
No,
I really don't.
We can't afford that. We can't.
I really don't. More reinforcements for defense or midfield in summer mercato. 2 center backs, 1 fullback, 1 midfielder.
Yep.
For me.
Defense is the priority.
2 center backs, another fullback. I'd be happy with Wesley. But bring me 2 center. I would love Nuno Tavares, to be honest. You have Tavares on one side, Cambiaso on another. I'd be very happy with the fullback situation. Midfield? Definitely not Ederson. I'll tell you that.
That's a fucking waste. A stupid idea. What a stupid idea.
I would have been okay with us taking a stab on Ricci.
I was just going to say, that would have been a lovely move, but God.
I think it would have been a clean little move. What about keeping Miretti around?
Forgot about that guy.
What about keeping him around? He's obviously trying to recover from shoulder surgery. Does anybody want to keep Miretti around? We've got midfielders struggling to fill in for the positions when it's not Chico or Yildiz playing in that more advanced role. Could Miretti not fill in there?
He probably will.
We're talking about depth, right? I mean, if he's a player that can contribute something, as opposed to going out and spending 30, 40 million on a guy.
I mean, if we're gonna keep Miretti around, which I highly expect us to do, they should be loaning out Adzic. I feel like the poor guy hasn't gotten a freaking damn chance.
I'm so upset that we have not just seen this guy. When you're watching guys struggle in that position, And it's naturally his role. Why the hell can we not see this guy play?
No one has even given him a chance. He hasn't gotten more than, I think, 10 minutes in a game. It's embarrassing. And he's performing with his national team. Like, he's gotten, I think, every time he's gone out, he's gotten either a goal or assist. Like, what are we waiting for?
But are we surprised, though, guys? Really? I'm
surprised sort of by the coach. Like, Mata, I get it, because the guy was a stubborn mule. But Tudor, unless I just not running, which I highly doubt, like, I don't see why Tudor wouldn't use him. I don't know. It's an interesting one.
He's going to get frustrated with lack of playing time. He's eventually going to leave. We're going to sell him for like 20 million, and then he'll go on to, bigger and better things. That's rinse and repeat for us.
Right here.
Gio's saying, unrelated news, I just read that Sarri is already quitting Lazio.
I mean, I don't know how valid that is, but I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever.
Miretti, I mean, if you're going to struggle in that role with some of the guys, I mean, I think you have to seriously consider it. Ricci would be a fucking pickup, man. Like,
he's going to Milan, no? Is that
yeah.
God.
Oh, he actually is resigning. Oh my God.
That's awesome. We now need facts. Tudor signed on condition. Tudor signed on condition of getting 4 new players, excluding the ones we have on loan. We now reached a time where we should know who these players are. Who are these players? Well, listen. This whole thing has been hilarious to me because it's like, here we are. We haven't hired a sporting director, but we are currently working on finalizing a move. It's like, Camoli is going to be that acting guy until they find a sporting director. I almost wouldn't be surprised if you don't have somebody joining until very late in the mercato or before the mercato closes. Because why would you bring them into this? And start clean, start work fresh. You've got guys around the club that have kind of been here already. Chiellini has been gradually getting to a point. It's like he's got a feel for what's going on locker room, with the coaching scenario, everything. It's like, just work from there. People believe that, like, no, we need this sporting director. No, like, Camoli has been a sporting director. It's Camoli. It always has been for this window. It's going to be him. I don't know who those 4 guys are going to be. But I'm telling you, needs to consist of 2 center backs, a striker, and a fullback for sure.
Yeah. Big surprise when the first one is freaking Jadon Sancho.
Sancho move is just weird. Just weird.
So that doesn't make sense to me.
Have you ever witnessed a stupid own goal as the one of Kalulu? It was unbelievable. I tried to find some ways to excuse him, but I could not find any. What the hell was... I'm trying to think if I've ever seen like some of the bad own goals I've seen.
You need to look back and think about what he was trying to do. He was trying to just clear it with his left.
Yeah, you saw it.
He mistimed the shit out of it. Maybe he's tired. God knows. It hit his heel rather than his instep and went backwards rather than forward. It wasn't clearing. It was a side clearance because he thought someone was behind him. It was, just regular reactionary thing, which he's done before. I've seen him do that many times at second post. It just clearly didn't come off right. So have I seen worse?
In the center of the net, a side clearance is from there is like, if you're back post, yeah, side clearance, like he had no bit. How in the fuck is he going to bend his foot around like that to side clear that thing out of there? He would have had to toe it. He would have had to like try and scoop it out, and then you run the risk of missing it and the ball going behind you.
His it was just to the play, and his face
fucking
was to the
terrible.
net.
I think he tried to play it slow over to D-Gray to run in and clear, and him shoot it out.
No, I don't think so. No.
He was trying to put it off to the side.
And if he did that, then he's even stupider because of the positioning he's at. A side clearance there is he's inside the 6. I swear to God, he's like inside the 6.
Yeah.
A side clearance from there is fucking ridiculous. I got the photo.
He's laying it off with his left to go towards that wide spot where there's no one, and then he would have probably cleared it with his right or played it up the field. The idea I understood, it was to the actual act that was terrible. The finishing was terrible.
He's at the top of the fucking 6. That is fucking, and dead center, might I add. That is fucking terrible on a ball that's curling into you to try and do that. I know what you guys are trying to say, because defenders do that. But on that fucking particular ball, obviously, he came nowhere near trying to fucking get it out to the side. It was a terrible, terrible fucking decision. The play
100%.
would have been to fucking actually settle it. D. Gray's staring at him, too. Like, the play would have been a fucking settle and tell him to fucking just rip the thing. But, holy shit, man. That's one of the worst own goals I've ever seen. Have you ever seen one worse?
Yeah.
You have?
I can't remember them, but I'm sure somewhere down the line there's been bad ones.
Exactly. Like, I can't name it right now, but I've definitely seen much worse. Like, that one was like, oh, okay, it's a shitty own goal. It was very centered, though. I can't get over how perfectly centered it was.
Guys, but listen, man, we're making a big deal of it. Mistakes happen, man. Like, what are you going to do? The guy made a mistake, right?
Man.
Yeah, like
at an
Lou said
inopportune time of the game, and that's it. Like, you move on, right? Like,
yeah, Lou said it yesterday. The Gatti one was much worse, if you ask me.
Actually, the Gatti one was probably worse than that. Way worse than that.
My point. Like, and I'm the one who defends Gatti all the time. Like, I love the guy. That was leaps and bounds worse, in my opinion.
That was easily way worse. Way fucking worse. Terrible own goal.
The positive is we may have found a solution at striker. So, I mean.
Yeah, Gatti. Not
Jesus Christ. Shock. With Tudor's formation, am I right to say that Tudor preferred to face Real Madrid in the next round? I don't know what the hell's going on. Is it calculated? Is it an error by Tudor? Like I said, there's still many out there who feel no harm, no foul. Game meant nothing. I'm not one of them. If he wanted to play Real Madrid, all the power to you, man.
I hope he's ready because
good luck and Godspeed. Good luck and Godspeed. And you got your wish, so make it count. I don't know. At least, I gotta say this, I really feel for the fans who were there.
That must have been so bad. And you got wet.
Like, I think I said it really quickly, like in either the members chat or one of the chat, but I said, man, if I had traveled and I had spent the money to go to that game and I see that lineup from Juve, I'm already just pissed off that that's what I got to watch because I already know what they're trying to do. And then the way it unfolded, like I said, it's okay. You can lose. It happened. You're never going to win every single game. But to be so gutless, to be there in person, I don't know if I could stomach watching such a gutless show like that. So I really feel for the fan. There was a lot of support. The support was well. And I did hear from people that were there that the atmosphere was still amazing despite the result. And that is a credit to the Juventini that went there. That they made it still a good atmosphere and that Juventini still did, despite that result, enjoy themselves and said the atmosphere was good. Huge, huge props and credit to them. I hope that those players actually gave you guys a legit sign off and, greeting and whatnot because we didn't get a whole bunch in Philly, Mas. They just came over, waved, clapped, and then just bolted right away. Like only one player came after, and he was in a rush to probably post something on fucking social media. Like fucking Austin 316. So who fuck knows? Some Psalm. For the three handsome guys on my screen.
What are you watching?
You must have multiplex here or something.
Yeah, you must be. Yeah.
If you were Yildiz and you saw the shambolic performance, would you stay in Juve and become the star or move to a bit? I think it cements just how important you are to the club.
Exactly. It's because you go to Madrid, you're sitting bench in Madrid. Let's just say it how it is. So
yeah. I mean, look, these guys, if you're Juve, like you got to lock down your pillars at this point, and you need to work from there. So like now looking back at the extension things and all this, like Yildiz makes sense because he's on such a low wage and he's got a ton of interest. Some of these other guys, I'm not really so sure that we need to rush to lock into. Yeah. Yildiz is definitely one of them though.
Priority.
He's at 1.6 million in salary. He's critical to anything we want to accomplish on the pitch. And he's proven that now. He's had one hell of a Club World Cup tournament. You got to lock him in. You got to shut it down. You got to add that year, 2 years extra, and you got to show him proper money to shut down all the nonsense and the noise. You have to. Yeah. Just period. I don't think any of us are going to disagree on that one, but as far as what does he think, even other signings, what they think, this is why I say you can't say games don't matter. Because if you are interested in coming to Juve, like the last thing you want to see is a gutless showing like that. That's the last thing you need to see, you know?
Well, and to be honest, like the allure of coming here is pretty much out the window at this point. I mean, maybe it's there for some players in Italy, but I mean, it's getting a lot harder to draw in talent based on the clown show that's been going on here the last few years.
Just look at the coach situation, man. We had coaches who chose Roma over us. Are we being serious?
Well, you know what? That coach, fuck, I didn't.
Yeah, he could fly a kite, anyways. But you see what I'm saying? Like, I think now they don't look at us and like, oh, it's the great Juventus. It's like, oh, it was the great Juventus. Maybe if I go, I can bring it.
We need to get back there, and like this level of compete is a big thing. Like, you need to have a strong season. We can't be battling for a top 4 finish. Like, you need to start competing for titles again. You have to. Let's say that we somehow manage to get Jonathan David, Sancho, and a good central defender. Would that alone make us able to compete to win the Serie A?
No.
No?
No, really?
Really?
I think the way we're built now, we're able to compete in Serie A. I've said
Serie A is unconvincing as fuck.
Exactly.
No, I disagree. I think it's Napoli's like in a landslide for next season.
No, okay, they're favorites, but a landslide? There will not be a landslide in Serie A.
Absolutely not.
Okay. No. We can disagree.
Conte now with multiple competitions? Are you serious?
Yeah.
No.
You're 100% right. He does have another competition in his hands, but
the coaching carousel, these teams, Atalanta might fucking drop off even worse. Yeah. Roma is Roma.
No,
like Milan, Allegri now, they'll be a little bit better. It's going to be as unconvincing as it was this year. Napoli had like a 16-point lead at us at one point. We got back to like a game difference. Like Inter's going to fall off a bit too. Nobody is going to fucking run away with anything. Napoli's in a good advantage, like an advantageous position because of the continuity, but a lot of money to spend. They also have to sell Osimhen, which right now ain't happening, which is interesting because that's a big chunk of money that they were banking on. So it's an interesting one to follow. De Bruyne is a great pickup. That's going to help them for a third of the season, maybe more. Yeah, it's theirs to kind of going into it. They'll be favorites, but I still don't think anyone runs away with it. Yeah, and if you brought in Jonathan David, I'm not big on Sancho, but he would help. A central defender, and Bremer can get back. If Bremer can find his form, you got Cabal coming back too. Like, we got Yildiz, you got Chico sticking around, like, hopefully sticking around, like, retain the fucking guy. I think we have enough. Thuram, Locatelli. We still need to find a midfielder because you got to sort out this Luis situation. You got to sort out this Cope Miners thing. Like, you got to figure that out. But we have a team that should be in the mix. Don't forget, we dropped 24 fucking points or 26 points from a lead last season. What does that do for the Scudetto race? If even not even less than half of those points, if a third of those points go our way, what does that do for the race? if we made these moves, absolutely you should be competing for a title. To think otherwise is crazy. Then we might as well fucking fold up and say it's over. Can't do it. Can't do it. Now, what do we got here? Hey, thanks for the super chat.
I was gonna say, why is it going?
We got here. Keep up the great work. Don't see how we can go forwards without signing at least 8 players.
Jesus, that's a team.
3 new defenders, Colo and Chico.
8. Where'd you get that number?
So
Holy shit.
So you want 8 players total. Colo and Chico are 2 of them, and then you want 3 new defenders. So then you need 3. I guess you want 3 midfielders too. I guess you might consider some like a loan return, like Meretti as maybe a new player as well. But I don't know. Like I'm not thinking we need such a drastic pull.
It's not that big of a cleanup.
I mean, he's not wrong in terms of depth, but you don't need to rejig the whole starting 11. Like,
I mean, Bert said it before, like three defenders, like 2 center backs and a fullback. Like, we're good, we're set there. But 8, I mean,
Justin coming in here with 2 central defenders needed for sure, 1,000%.
Yeah,
1,000%. Leonardo, I don't see us changing anything, huh? It's gonna be a long season. It's gonna be a long one if we don't make some moves. We gotta make some moves. Shout out to Mas for wearing the best Juve kit ever made. Whoa,
that is a statement.
Whoa,
I don't know about that.
That is a statement. Okay.
Well, you know what? You got me intrigued here now. You got me intrigued now here. Zwartwerk music. What is the best? Let's say
saw that coming.
You can only wear one Juve kit for the rest of your days. Which one soul kit are you choosing? Chat, give me your one. Your one. But Mas, since he gave the shout out to you, you're going to kick the panel off.
Shit.
No, great. For me,
1985 Adi Stone coming up. I like that one. 98. Oh, yeah, dude. The best version of Del Piero, in my personal opinion. 97, 98 Del Piero.
I think
are we saying any kit or home kit?
Any kit. Because he said the best Juve kit ever made, he said, for that one. So I want to know.
Statement.
The 96 home was fantastic.
The black and gold from the Pogba
15-16 third kit, black and gold.
Yeah,
that's your choice.
Although I will say a close second is that anniversary kit they put out.
Oh, you bastard. You had to take my pick.
Yeah.
All right. Luca, what one are you taking?
If we're going based on just like nostalgia, like the 98 home, like Bert's right on that one. Like that's just insane. But that for me, it's the anniversary kit. That 17-18 anniversary, there's just nothing that comes close to how clean that was. Oh, if not, even like the 17-18 home was rather good too. Like that 17-18 year for me was magic. Bert's looking through his catalog.
He's going through his catalog,
yeah. He's like, what vinyl do I want to take out today?
Man, I can't do this.
It's too hard, right? Like one?
I'll give you some short listers.
Fine. Even though he asked us for one, Mass, he gets to pick like 8.
No, I got to narrow it down first.
Pick 3, Bert. You get 3. I think that's the
95-96 blue one has to be in there, like for sure.
Ooh, I forgot about the 95 blue.
The 95-96, our last Champions League winning kit, the one like directly above me there, like that Sony.
Yeah, that's
got to be in there. The 120th anniversary has got to be in there.
Yeah, that 95 blue is with the yellow stars. Oh,
see, I loved this Kappa, like with this cap on the sleeves. It tells you this is a clean home kit, but I hated this, the red.
The red ruined it, I find.
The red ruined it, so it can't be in there.
That's the thing, like it's tiny thing. Like everything has to be perfect, right?
All of the Kappa kits were clean, man. Like
this is one of my favorites all time. Like
Yeah,
the
that's
97,
okay.
98 is just sick. And even on the back is like
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
I got that in long
gangsters.
sleeve.
Like,
Mhm.
surprisingly, this might be my choice, boys.
Go for it. I think that's a great choice.
I think I'd have to say that this is the one. If I can only rock one, like I love this
The
kit.
fact
Everything
that there's
about it.
there's
name
no
sets,
logo on that, huh?
like
We don't have a Juve logo on that. Remind me, Bert, there is no logo. It's just the Italy.
it's on the sleeve.
It's on the sleeve. It's
yeah.
true. Okay.
It's on the
okay.
sleeve on that one. But yeah, there's the 15, 16 pink, great one. Great one.
Yeah, but
Oh,
not
man.
not all time. It's tough to pick a non-home for me. Like
We need a short video with all your short. Oh my god.
it can be
It's
short.
not going to be short.
It can be
It'll be a
short.
long video.
It's gonna be a long one. 268 is where we're at right now.
He's got to speed it up. Put it at like 3 times the speed.
268 kits.
That's crazy.
Another super chat, Sam. Appreciate it. To follow up Chico and Colo and their backups plus 3 defenders and loan out Kelly plus striker. There you go. So he's adding it up, and there you go. Correcting that math there. Do you have the one we won the Champions League? Yes, I have 2. So I have the original that's up there on the display, and then I have like replicas that I can actually wear, because I won't wear
Never wear the original.
I usually
Yeah.
I won't wear the originals like out if I'm going somewhere or some whatever. So I'll pick up sometimes replicas of kits I really like, just so that I don't ruin the authentics, right?
Yeah,
So
I feel that. I definitely feel that.
yeah, we can't be doing that. We can't be doing that. Now, Chris, we should sell both Americans. McKennie, if he stays, should never ever start in the midfield. Yeah, it's like he forgot. I said this earlier. It's like we've used him everywhere that now he can't even be like a proper midfielder.
He's like an actor who forgot what accent he originally had.
I don't even know anymore, like with this guy. But, Jesus, what's McKennie gonna do when we put him up on social media? Like,
I mean, the guy's been
gonna,
shopped
like-
around like 5 times already. So at this point,
like a Big Mac commercial, but like it's taken away off the menu now, and it's like
I'm
super
actually-
sad music. Like what? He doesn't seem
actually
like
very-
the religious type that's gonna do that.
I'm disappointed that McDonald's, like their PR team, hasn't thought about putting him in any marketing commercial yet. Like it's the perfect freaking idea.
Nobody in the States knows who he is.
He plays on the U.S. men's national team. They
But even
must.
then, like,
I don't know. I mean, like it's the perfect opportunity. The guy's got a Mick in his freaking name. Like, what are we talking about? Come on.
Yeah, now guys, everybody drop a like here. Let's get the likes up here. God, I love the kit talk. Real Madrid, July
It's like, I want to
1st.
go back.
Okay, Real Madrid, July 1st. Now, I have to apologize to everybody because yesterday I was saying, obviously, we'll do pregame, all this. I completely forgot that. I've got a family trip that I'm literally going to. I'll be in Whistler. So, I don't know about the lives. I'll still, obviously, keep you all in the loop on the news. I'll do pregame stuff, postgame stuff, but I don't know about the live shows. Live shows might be out for that knockout against Madrid. How do you feel going into the knockout? We've talked a lot about what happened, like how annoying what happened yesterday with Man City was and everything. But how do you feel going into the Madrid game, Mas?
listen, I was saying in the green room, I don't think it'll be as bad as Man City. If we start a proper lineup, the only fear is now who do you start in the back end? I mean, if Savona's hurt, you got to hope.
So Savona's out. Rugani.
Yeah. Oh man.
We're at that point.
Rugani won't be a problem, man.
No, I mean, it's like
It's going to be the other guys.
it's just crazy because he's bang average, and here's the guy like we're not relying. on, but
Gatti
like,
is got like I mean he looked fine to me when he came on yesterday. Like
He's got to play.
he's got to start. He can't sub. I
he's
find
gotta start.
you gotta just play fucking Rugani, Gatti, and Kalulu.
yeah, that's my. I agree with that.
Like that's your 3. And
Tudor
Gatti,
likes Gatti. I don't know why.
I don't know what the fuck is going on, but like it's getting really weird. It's just getting weird. His
What do you mean?
some of the actions around the Philadelphia game, at the hotel and even on the pitch and stuff, like the whole contract negotiation thing, like it's just weird fucking vibe. Almost like this guy forgot that he was almost staring down the barrel of a life working manual labor. Like, I don't know. It's really weird vibes around this guy all of a sudden.
Something going on, I think.
And I don't like it. But I don't know where he's at fitness-wise, but, like, that's got to be your back line. Like, if we can get Gatti, Rugani, Kalulu out there, it'll be better. It'll be much more cleaned up. And you can actually fight back with a little bit of pressure because those guys wouldn't be so scared. If you're...
at the end of the day, we're playing arguably the best team in the world. They don't have Bellingham. I think Bellingham's going to be out, but there's a possibility Mbappe might be back. And Mbappe is just going to torch you all around the pitch.
You got to do it in numbers, and you got to get physical. Yeah. It's the way you got to do it. We just got to, like, you're not going to make up this quality, but I hate this surrender type fucking shit too. It's just like, no, I thought that was the point of Tudor.
Put in a shift.
Yeah, you're going to have to put in a shit. You're going to have to get stuck in. Mm-hmm. You're not going to, who gives a shit who they have? I played with a guy, and it pissed me off every fucking game I'd show up because we'd be warming up, and he would look across at the field and be like, oh, so-and-so's here, so-and-so's here, so-and-so. And I'm like,
do that.
And I'm like, dude, what's your problem? And he goes, oh, well, the guy's a pain in the ass to play. I go, here's a thought. Why don't you make them worry about you being on the fucking pitch?
Yeah.
Like, why don't you do that? So I don't give a fuck who we line up against, who we play. Madrid, City, whatever. Get stuck in and fucking fight. If you think you're going to play a pretty tic-tac-toe game after Alain and Widad, no matter who we play, that's just not realistic. So you got to have something more. I feel more confidence in the fact that we'll see our actual regulars and the guys we'll be leaning on this season.
Correct.
But that's only half the battle. If they're flat, if their coach, if Tudor's got them now believing, well, we need to spend $200 million to play against these guys, we've already lost before we step on the pitch.
That's a good point.
So Tudor's got to show a little bit more, and he's got to have a little more resolve when something like that fucking happens, because you kind of set it up, buddy. So to come out and say those words after you kind of set it up, falls on deaf ears.
Tudor's got a little damage control to do in the next.
Yeah, he's got damage. I 100% agree with you.
100%.
Yeah.
You missed my Storm the Barn. Apologies, Michael. Would you take De Ligt back?
I mean, if we're not considering financials, yes, because he's better than Kelly. He's better than our entire backline yesterday. He's not great, but he's still better.
And he's relatively young still.
He's still young.
Yeah.
Would you take him back?
Yeah, I would. I always liked De Ligt, to be honest. I didn't like the way it ended with him and us. That was another situation with wrong player or right player, wrong time, I think, for us.
Yeah, 100%.
It would put two of my kits back in play.
You still have two? I'll take one off for you if you don't want it.
But you know what? He can De Ligt my... No. I'd probably take him back. Where desperate times call for desperate measures, but I got annoyed at how fucking mouthy this guy
ending wasn't great.
Talking, and his game didn't back it. He ran to Bayern. He got benched. Went to United, and fuck these United guys, man.
Yeah.
I gotta say no. I gotta say no.
Depends what version we would be getting. Like, do you guys remember the videos of him captaining Ajax, and he would have all those like crazy?
That's the thing. Like
speeches, like that was the De Ligt I wanted.
He never
didn't
lived
end up
up
being the De Ligt we got, but
young guys getting overhyped and then getting big money deals can go one way or another, and I think it went the opposite of what everybody expected for him. But when he was ready to get the keys at Juve, he jumped at the first fucking chance out of here. And that to me tells me everything about that guy's character and individual. So I'm not really that keen on bringing him back. I'd look for the next character. So probably a fucking very unpopular take. Give me Leone over De Ligt any fucking day of the week.
Oh, I mean, if we're having that conversation, I think it's completely different. But I mean, to answer this question here, I would take him.
Guys, with the state of our backline right now, you'd have to go pretty low down the totem pole for me to say no. I mean, like,
yeah, exactly. Mass is good.
I'll put my grandmother out there right now at this point.
Well, he's not the only defender out there. Like I said, we've got 6 other names or 5 other names that were mentioned. Like, I mean, I'm not racing to get De Ligt back. Like, let's put it that way. I'm not rushing at it. Is this
hypothetical, or are we actually linked to this guy? Like,
no, it's hypothetical. It hasn't been mentioned at all.
Yeah.
Not this season. It was last season, I think.
So he can't De Ligt my balls. Anyways.
No.
Real Madrid and Juve, July 1st. Tudor, you got some damage control, buddy. Mas got eyes on you, you son of a bitch. My God, you pissed me off. I was so happy with everything Tudor has set up until this point. We loved everything. We loved the attitude. But my God, I think he got some things wrong, and now he's got to clean things up. He's got to clean things up. We're obviously going to keep you in the loop on the news in the build-up to that matchup. And then, like I said, stay tuned. We'll see what we can do around match day. But, yeah, let's see what we can do. It's got to be better. It's got to be way, way better. No Savona. Gatti, get yourself back in there. But, of course, he's in the hands of a traveling J Medical. Not even a J Medical at Continassa. I could just imagine the creatures we have brought on this trip to take care of these guys in terms of fitness and physicality.
The Fisher-Price medical kits.
It's like terrible. The carnivals in town with J Medical traveling around like that. My goodness. Anyways, Godspeed. We need Gatti in there, and I think we need Rugani. But back 4, I don't think that's going to be the thing. I think we can make it work with what we got. But yeah, we need some signings to come. So Camoli, you're up too. Tudor, clean it up. And Camoli, there's your warning shot. There's your warning shot that something needs to happen. Let's see what happens. Mas, Luca, absolute pleasure as always. All right. Luca, that's a hell of a t-shirt, by the way. Fenomeno Vero from the original Striped Hearts release. God damn it. Beauty of a shirt. And then the kits. A kit video. We should start calling odds on how long you think that video would come out to. How long you think that would take. A short video.
How many you said?
268. And there's a box in the garage that I don't know, might have 12.
Over 10 minutes.
These are
I'm on the over.
Juve and Italy kits, or just strictly Juve?
No, Italy, I have 22.
Wow.
That is substantially less.
And not a lot of people know, but I do have Serie A kits as a collector. So I have a Maldini Milan. I have a couple Totti Romas, a De Rossi Roma. I have 0 Intermerda kits. The only time that ran risk, and I almost did it, was because of COVID, when everybody was buying all the TP. I needed something, so I bought a couple Inter kits to wipe my ass with. That was probably the only time. And then they got scrapped, okay? Hey, on that note, take care, everybody. Wow. Let an Interista know that they're a pezza de merda, okay? Take care, everybody. We'll talk real soon. Until next time, as always, fino alla fine, forza Juventus. Ciao tutti.